Sorry about that. I think I turned off my mic and never turned it back on. So, anyways, let me start over. The first build stream we unboxed, and then we put on the skeleton around. And thank you, Droid Guy, by the way. And then the second day of streaming, we put on the greebling on the left and right hand sides of the wings. Spent a little bit more time on there than I intended to because I thought I had made a mistake somewhere. But as it turns out, it was just a perspective change. We went from left to right, and so one of the pieces looked a little different. And I was looking for more of an overhang on the end, and so I thought I was wrong. But after the stream ended, I went and I looked at the instructions, and everything was fine. But I mean, it was still fun to rebuild. It just cost me, about 15 minutes of time. And so today we are, if I'm looking at step 4 correctly, we are starting to build out some of the underwing shell, and that looks to be pretty fun. I believe for the next 3 steps, we'll just be continuing to work on the bottom of the Imperial Star Destroyer before we start working on the top. Let's see, I guess a couple quick things. I went ahead and ordered a camera. It will be arriving on, well, it'll be arriving tomorrow, but everything else I need for the camera will be arriving between Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I also ordered a new mic because this one seems to be having some problems. So that all the pieces for that will be arriving on Monday too. So Monday's stream will be pretty nifty because I'll have some new stuff. Also, I went ahead and left the door open. So probably see some of my 4-legged friends meander in. I predict it will probably be my 2 youngest cats. They always seem to come down here when I'm down here. Charlotte, my dog, she may make an appearance. I don't know. She's pretty tired. Tuesdays are, well, every other Tuesday is the day that she goes to the groomer. And when she goes to the, hey, Jeff Spencer. Oh, look at that. But Dudley, you can't. This is Dudley. He's my youngest kitty. He's a seal point. You got to go down. There you go. Yeah, so she gets to play with all the dogs every other Tuesday, and she just exhausted. It's kind of great because it means that she doesn't have to go out and play later on in the day. That sucks up some time. So he loves being in my lap, but can't be in my lap today, Dudley. All right, so let's get started. Oh, yeah, I made a different music playlist today. It's from 2 of my favorite DRM-free synthwave bands, 2050 and Knight Rider 87. So I think they're pretty good. I'm not using YouTube today, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started with that. Yep. All right. So how's everyone's evening today? Everyone having a good day? With it being the second, I imagine most of us went back to work today after the holiday. Some of us may have even gone back to work after an extended holiday. Majority of my co-workers have not come back yet. They will be coming back on Monday. It's kind of weird how the holidays fell this time. I don't think I'm really a big fan of having Christmas and New Year's be on a Wednesday. It really kind of throws off the week in a way I don't personally like very much. Black box, is that the mini scale version? I built that one too. That one was it was pretty fun. I have it. I also have the UCS Executor. So they are grouped side by side. It's kind of funny the scale difference. Yep, that's it. That's it. Well, actually, you can't see it, unfortunately. Now that I think about it. I've got the Venator and the Imperial Star Destroyer that I'm working on, but right below that is the two Executors. You're a good boy, Dudley, but I gotta do stuff right now. Three of these. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Alejandro. He could be a problem. I might have to lock them back out again. I was filming a video. I was filming the intro for the Dark Falcon, and he actually got up there and he looked like he was gonna start messing around with the Venator. I'm like, nope, you gotta go.
Do you copy over?
Oh really? Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Oh yeah.
Opening the vortex.
Okay, I want to move.
Start the countdown.
Here we go. All right, let's go. You're good. Yep, they are there down there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So that UCS Executor was the third UCS set I built. I kind of built them out of order because I was just so excited to build it. Okay. But now I'm trying to go in order. The caveat though is, I guess there's no UCS sets scheduled to be released until May, which I believe is Jango Fett's ship. When that gets released, that will be what I will build next. Oh, cool. Was that pricey to get the Vader minifig? I don't really know what the market is for minifigs, to tell you the truth. I haven't looked into it all that much. But I know that some of them can get expensive very quickly.
Mission log 2050-1.
not too bad. That's not too bad at all.
We arriving at the destination. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My own minifig collection is pretty small. It's just basically whatever sets I have built out right now, which is not especially a whole lot, but I have a lot of minifigs in basically boxes still. Anyone heard any new Star Trek or Star Wars Lego set rumors today? I've been so busy I haven't been able to keep an eye on anything. Okay. That's pretty nice. I really wish that I was into Star Wars when I was a kid. I'm sorry, Star Wars Lego. I was plenty into Star Wars when I was a kid. Just no one ever really bought me a Lego set. This is a very new hobby for me. So, do you collect any Lego sets nowadays?
Activate.
Well, besides the midi scale circular that you built recently. That is a fun ship. I love
Activate.
the Millennium Falcon in all sizes. I have another UCS Millennium Falcon I'll build someday. Way down the line. I love the even for the MIDI scale version of the Executor, I love all the little detail that went into the greebling on the top. It's just, I mean, it's just like you would expect the Executor looking at Star Wars movies.
Activate.
The designers that made all these sets did a top-notch job, if you ask me. I mean, I know the Jabba Sail Barge got some hate because of the price, but all the details that went into it was pretty amazing. Let's see. This looks much bigger than I was expecting in the manual. It's pretty big. I do not. It is on my list of things to do one of these days. My priority was to get a new camera because my side camera is just an iPhone and sometimes it drops connection, which is a little terrible when you're in the middle of streaming because you have to stop and fix it. And then after that, I really want to paint my shelves white. I think white probably would be a great color. And I think because it's been coated on the outside, maybe spray paint would work best, but I haven't really gotten to the point yet where I need to look that up. I know that I can primer and paint the MDF board that's on it, and then I want to get lights in general for the sets, and then after that I would start looking at getting the little light kits. But from what I understand, even though I haven't had a lot of experience with it, I know that when you get the light kits, the assumption that the companies make is that you have already built the set, so the instructions take that into account and have you put in the light kits with the minimum amount of disassembly. I guess Light My Bricks is the most popular one, but there are a lot of places out there that sell those now. I definitely want to get one for the Venator and the Millennium Falcon and the Executor, because the UCS Executor, like the MIDI scale version of it, the engines just look terrible. real hard to figure out where you're supposed to stick this stuff at because it's all gray. So Jeff, are you looking to get any of the new releases that came out? Like the Arc 170, Ahsoka Starship, any of those? So the most fun Lego I built was the UCS Executor, which we've been talking about a little bit today. The reason why I liked it so much is because it was big and very solid. Didn't feel like it's going to fall apart on me anytime that I moved it. Loved the detail. Most fun Lego? That's very difficult. I'd probably say the Venator was the most fun, and it was a very satisfying build, and it was also the first build I filmed, so that was pretty fun. Jabba Sail Barge was fun in the fact that it was pretty detailed. You know, I liked like the little kitchen implements that went into like the little kitchen area. I was not expecting that with a Lego build, and sticking the little bones in the drawers. So I enjoyed that. And how about yourself, Cookie? What's your favorite that you've built? Oh, you asked me difficult. The Millennium Falcon I had a lot of trouble with. So with the Millennium Falcon, it was the second set I ever built in my life. The first set I built was the Lego Titanic, but I did not build that myself. The wife and I built that together over the span of a couple months. Which was, you know, pretty challenging in its own right, but you weren't alone. But it was the first time, well, it was, I guess, the second time I had experience with Technic pieces. But I don't think, if I recall correctly, well, I should say, the Lego Titanic was broken up into three parts: the bow, the stern, and the midsection. And all the Technic was kind of split up amongst those three. And also the Titanic, while it's a long set, it's not particularly wide. So I made some mistakes assembling the Millennium Falcon that caused me to, you know, have to go back and redo some stuff. And so anyways, I got it built. I was happy I got it built, but I felt like the rear of it towards the bottom was very loose and it kept wanting to fall off, and in fact it did fall off when I finally brought it back downstairs. And I didn't really like how the top part of it was resting, because top rear of it, only the middle section's really latched in. The rest of it just kind of fit in. And I didn't like how that was placed, so less than 24 hours after I built the Millennium Falcon for the first time, I stripped it apart, which was easy. And then I was left with a bunch of pieces, and trying to sort those out took a really long time. But I did, and then in the meantime, also, while I was rebuilding, I went ahead and ordered one of those FMN stands, and I did what others had suggested, and which I always suggest myself, is to start building, well, to put the stand on after step 9, because after step 9 is when you're mostly complete with the bottom, so it should be okay to stick the stand on there, or rather the Falcon in the stand, and then from then on you can just build on the stand. I would not want to try to put that stand on an assembled Falcon. That would sound like a nightmare, because it's unwieldy, and there's a lot of detail on it, and it's prone to get stuff knocked off of it. So I would say that would be the most difficult one. I did the AT-AT after that one. I would not say it was as difficult. I don't like moving that one around because it feels like every time I do, something falls off. Now, the Republic gunship, I had some troubles with trying to get one of the underwing pieces in. In fact, I made a short of it that took about 30 minutes to get in one little piece. That was pretty frustrating. But overall, that one was, I would say it would be the Millennium Falcon. Hey, Soulzim. Look at this massive thing I've built so far. This is just a portion of the underwing. That gives you an idea of how wide wings are. Anyways, how's your night? So I think it's the Shure MHX7B, I think, that I ordered. That's an XLR microphone. So I had to also order a mixing interface for it, because you have to with any type of XLR microphone. And so that will then get plugged in via USB, I think. So I have a powered USB hub, or I should say it's a hub more than just a USB hub. So for this stream, I've plugged in this microphone into the hub to see if I have any issues with audio, and it looks like everything is fine. I did forget to turn on the microphone at the beginning of the stream. Someone was kind enough to let me know that it was off, and sometimes I will put that stream starting soon screen on, and when you do, it still has audio input. So I just wanted to mute the audio for that and forgot to turn it back on. Part of me is still getting used to people being on right when the stream starts. I love that it's happening. Yep, that's part of the reason why I got a shirt. It's because it seems to be widely recommended for the price point. How's the audio sounding tonight, though? I could probably actually have this come a little closer. It's a little too close. Huh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I had some issues with scheduling broadcasts where it wouldn't automatically start for some reason. Like OBS is supposed to start, my broadcast when I tell it to, and it hasn't been. So I haven't been starting it like that. But today did actually start. I think it was somewhere around 3 or 4 that I actually scheduled it, and it still did not start like I wanted it to auto start, but I was around to make it happen anyways. Well, something that I have done today is I'm using VLC today instead of YouTube Music. YouTube Music is supposed to be giving me a DRM free playlist, but every time I look at my stream later, I have copyright notifications. Not that I have copyright strikes, but I have copyright notifications, and it's kind of making me mad. Because in the long shot that I get monetized, I'll have to go back and rip out that music, unless I want whichever artist it is to get all the credit. Which, I mean, it's supposed to be copyright free. I don't understand why it's happening, but... And it's ironic to me because it's YouTube Music. So you would think that they would know what is copyright free and what would not be, for the purposes of streams. But I digress. Well, thank you. I always appreciate your input. Because if it's bothering you, it's probably bothering someone else as well. You know what? That's a real possibility for what's going on with me too. I never thought about that. I wonder how much it would cost for me to like license Beastie Boys or something like that. Think it would be worth it? Of course, I'm kidding. It would probably cost an insane amount of money. Hey, Alex. Good to see you. How's your night going, Alex? Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time at all. Goodness gracious. So what is it? Is it Bon Nuit? Nope, that's good night. I can't remember what good morning is. It's been a long time since I thought about speaking French. Wait a minute. So yeah, Soul's In tomorrow. I got sucked into playing in a Magic the Gathering Foundations Jumpstart event. So that's where I'll be instead of streaming. A buddy of mine has been asking me for a while to come play at this store that started just freshly hosting events. I've been putting them off, and I was like, I think it's just time to go ahead and do it. Wow. So it's like one of those metal models, right? That sounds pretty neat, actually. That is terrible. So, we have an elderly cat that my wife absolutely loves. And she was diagnosed with a enlarged heart many years ago, and she was given only 6 months to live. So my wife is always a little nervous that our cat will pass away when she's gone. So once she took the cat on the flight, and that's pretty much what happened to her. That cat used the bathroom several times in her carrier, and it was pretty stinky. It was also the last time she tried that. Some pets just don't handle travel well. I hope you get the same satisfaction of building your model that I do from these Legos. I have 6 cats. So when I met my wife, she had 1, and then she got another one. So when we moved to Texas, we had the 2, and then Texas, we got a 3rd because one of my coworkers found a stray kitten, and he couldn't have the kitten, so he sent an email out to the company saying, "Hey, anyone want to take this cat?" And we were like, "Sure, why not?" And then when we moved here, I went to the grocery store on my birthday, and there was a cat that was underneath a pallet at the grocery store. And so I ended up grabbing that one. So we're up to 4. And then my wife was walking around and she heard a cat meowing very loudly. And it turned out to be this little kitten. And that's how we got cat number 5. And then for the last one, the wife and I were walking, and we, at the end of our street is a cul-de-sac. And so we were walking down to the cul-de-sac to turn around, and we heard a meowing, and then we found a super, super tiny little kitten. And as it turns out, that one was injured, so we had to nurse it back to health. So, if you get the right litter robot, you don't have to worry about the litter box. So you might want to reconsider. When I say right litter box, I mean a litter robot litter box. Those are pretty good, not the Chinese ones that kill cats. We have 2 little robots, and we have a litter hopper on the back of them, so it automatically refills the litter. And they're all connected via Wi-Fi. So when the litter box gets full, all I do is I just bag up the liner, take it out, put a new liner in, done deal. Has carbon filters so that it's not very stinky. It is an absolute win. It's been my job for probably the last 4 years now of cleaning the litter boxes, so if I have something to help out with that, I am good. Yeah, technology is great. So I do have one dog as well. She's an Australian Shepherd named Charlotte, who is 4 years old. And it was very interesting having all those cats and a dog, a puppy. Not all of my cats will use our litter robot either. There's at least 2 of them just won't go near it. So I still have to scoop one of the litter boxes, but it's certainly a lot less than it was. Who thought we'd be talking about robotic litter boxes on a Star Wars Lego building stream? Isn't this great? I do love being on here with you guys. And if you like what you see, give a like and a subscribe. I am on a fair amount, and I have 28 more UCS Star Wars Lego sets to complete. Bye, Alex. Take it easy. Yeah, she's a 2020 COVID puppy. So it's pretty easy to keep track of how old she is for me. Oh man. So I've been trying to get a dog for a long time, actually. And it was, finally in 2020 is when the wife relented. And I got Charlotte. Oh my goodness. See, just trying to make sure everything is in there nice and snug. So this just doesn't want to sit right. And it's hard to make it level now because we have all these little detail pieces on the bottom. There we go. Still feels like it's a little loose. Okay, that feels a little bit more solid. Nope. Almost there. So I have to be careful when I build out the sand crawler that I don't put this amount of pressure on the pieces, because there's a chance they will snap and break. I'm actually a little scared of building that set. Goodness gracious. Like this middle section here just doesn't want to be flush and solid. It's a little annoying, actually. Yeah, there's a problem with the pigmentation of some of the pieces. And specifically, it's like the reddish brown bricks from a particular era, and it causes the plastic to get degraded over time, which then shatters under pressure. Lego will, if I understand correctly, replace those pieces if you let them know it happened. So I'm, only concerned that I'll have to like stop the build while I wait for new pieces. So let's see. Shaking a little the camera just a little bit, I guess. All right, that is a lot more solid. This square piece that fell off here, I believe. Okay, now we're ready to stick it on. actually. Okay. All right. Solid. Hey TC, welcome to the stream. Don't think I've seen you before. Yeah, this is it's a pretty solid build so far. That wing part was a little tricky in the fact that because it was the pieces on the bottom that were meant to stick it into the greebling on the wings was preventing you from really having a flat surface to push everything down and make it sure it was secure was tricky. But yeah, if you can manage to get one, even if it's used, I would highly recommend the purchase. But make sure you've got a spot to stick it at because it is long and wide. All right, step 5. Making pretty good time. My goal was to get through step 5 tonight. Yeah, it is not the longest, but it is, I think, the widest. So I got 24-inch width shells to support it. Now, of course, the only bad thing about having to have shells that are 24 inches wide, it's hard to find something like an IKEA or anything like that that you can get doors for to, you know, help protect it. So I'll have to. Well, I thought about getting acrylic to surround it, and then maybe doing some kind of acrylic doors in the middle. That's if I decide to keep this. Someone on Reddit posted these amazing shelves that he built, and he sent me what he did today. So that's something I might be able to do a little further down the line. Yeah, you put them behind glass. That's the best thing to do. I will go through with a feather duster and I'll dust my sets off so it doesn't get too dusty. Another bad thing for sets is actually sunlight. It does tend to yellow pieces over time. Fortunately, down here there's really not a lot of sunlight, so I don't have to worry about that yet. So it looks like what I'm doing here is the same thing as I did before, just on the other side. So all the pieces, instead of facing right, now face left. So I think what I'll do this time is I'll make sure that all the pieces are in and snug before I put on the bottom pieces that are meant to hook it into the greebling, so I don't have the same issue I had last time. So yeah, I guess Ohio State ended up winning that game, right? I never went back to take a look at it. I was going to watch it, and then a buddy of mine called me yesterday, and that was after, like, just after I got done with the stream. And then after that, we watched some movies and just totally forgot about the Ohio State game. Yep, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Cool. I lived for a time in San Francisco, or not San Francisco, San Diego. That was pretty fun. Beautiful city. Yes, there was. think I don't think you ever got lower than 52 in the wintertime. And when I left San Diego, I went to Norfolk, Virginia, where it was not nearly as nice. Hey, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you. I'll probably be going for another couple hours, so I hope to see you then. So yeah, at the gym I used to work out in Cleveland Heights. Of course, the majority of people were Buckeye fans, but there was one Michigan fan. And the way he was, you would think that there were a whole lot because he was quite a fan all by himself. My favorite team is my hometown team, the Northern Illinois University Huskies, and no one really knows about them very much because they're in the MAC conference, so no one ever spoke to me about rivalries or anything like that. This is solid as a rock. Yeah, this guy was very loud. Win or lose, he was very loud. So your wife, is she, I assume she's flying into Cleveland and then driving down, or Does Columbus doesn't have an airport, right? You know, I actually didn't know that Guardians fans didn't like New York Yankees. I thought you guys didn't like the Detroit Tigers. Okay. I hope she has a safe flight in. Won't be too much longer until the boss has me fly back into Cleveland again. Seems to be February or March when he wants us to all get together. So all of the remote employees that are in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, myself in Missouri, I think we have some people in Florida. We all fly in and stay for a week. Cool, I did not know that. You know, people say that the Cardinals and the Cubs is a great rivalry. I don't really feel to me like I have anything against any Cardinals fans. You know, I've never seen a person in a Cardinal t-shirt and, you know, been like, you know, what a crappy team or, you know, whatever. I do not like the White Sox, though. There is only one Chicago professional baseball team. There is an amateur team that I wish would just dissolve. I might get some hate on the stream for that, but it's one of those hills I will certainly die on. Sorry for the shaky camera. I'm a little upset that this desk is just not very stable. And I blame the fact that it's a standing desk. Oh, hey, Todd. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I think I'm actually wearing the same shirt as I was wearing during that intro. I think it's actually been the first time that I have worn that shirt since, at least on stream. Well, thank you. I have 28 left. So it'll take a little while to get through them, but I appreciate you stopping by to watch it. For some of the sets, it's going to be a little hard to build. Like the Rebel Blockade Runner, the first gen TIE Interceptor, and the first gen X-Wing, just because they've for 24 years they have been sitting in a box. But I mean, in my opinion, that's part of it. I mean, the creators and designers of these Lego sets built them, well, created them to be built. So I will build them and I'll put them behind glass for sure, and I will build them with gloves on because I don't want any of my fingerprints on those sets. And it seems like some people are divided about people wearing gloves when building Legos. For these sets, it doesn't seem to bother me too much. But when we start getting into the really old stuff, I'll be wearing gloves. Oh, hey, Dan, thanks for stopping by too. I love seeing all the new visitors. It's very wonderful. Yeah, I don't know what got into me, but I decided after building some of the sets that were already out for the Ultimate Collector series, like the Millennium Falcon and the AT-AT, I decided that I just wanted to actually collect them all and then build them out. To me, it's like building big Star Wars ships and stuff, and well, I should say big Star Wars models, without having to worry about the paint and the glue. And it's just, I find it to be very satisfying and rewarding. I have a tendency, or not just me, but other people have a tendency to put fingerprints on stuff when they build. And for these really old sets, I just want them to be pristine. But at least they're pretty small sets, so you don't have to watch me build Legos with gloves on for very long. destination. Now, as I go this time, I'm making sure that these are really in there. Yes. So the first gen, probably starting with probably the Death Star 2, I think is one of the oldest first gen. I'll start with that one. And so I think it's Death Star 2 Yoda. Even though it is a terribly ugly set, it's still old. I'll probably stick that behind glass. And what else? Darth Maul bust. I'll stick that behind glass too. Although that, I mean, that is also, if you've never seen that, it's a terribly ugly set as well. Yes, so I've actually built some of these sets with gloves on. I started out with these like fabric guitar training gloves, and those were actually pretty sweet, but over time pieces would kind of start to get stuck inside, and then the gloves would actually start to kind of fall apart, and so you'd get like loose bits of fabric in between bricks, and that was truly annoying. So I stopped using those, and then I do use nitro gloves. But if you don't make sure they're snug, then pieces will get stuck in between them, and that is also very annoying. But I kind of got over using gloves for these newer sets. I just don't feel like it's needed. And I have gone back through and wiped down some of the sets that I put together without gloves, like especially with Jabba's sail barge. With it being that reflective brown, you can really see fingerprints on there. So I did go through and wipe those down. But like, I mean, the Venator, that's mostly gray except for the red detailing, which is, you know, reflective. I did wipe those down. But I just, it just looks a little dirty if you leave the fingerprints on there the whole time. So do you all, like Dan and Todd, do you guys also build out Star Wars Lego sets? Are you guys collectors as well? What is your most recent build, Todd? You know, I really do too. Well, there's so many rumors going around. I'm not sure what to think. I mean, I've heard that there might be a turbo tank. I've heard that there might be an MTT. I mean, it's just hard to really say what really will come out. And being that this is the first year I've really been interested in Legos, I don't know when the rumors start to become fact. So I'm trying not to indulge in too much speculation. I think it'd be really cool to get a UCS MTT set. Oh, cool. So I take it that was a mock from Republic Bricks. I think one of these days, probably after I finish all these UCS sets, I'll start looking into mocks and stuff like that. For, you know, the bigger ships, I find that I've had the greatest joy in building ships like these. I've seen some of the designs, and there's some pretty talented designers out there. What makes the experience different for mocks? So the next UCS set will be the Y-Wing, the second gen Y-Wing, and then after that would be Death Star, which will be real interesting to put together for me because it's the first real playset I will have put together. Even though it's a UCS set, I still kind of consider the Death Star to be a playset. The sail barge has gotten a lot of, I think, unfair hate because of the price point. But I think it was a great build. Oh, I see. I think that would be pretty difficult then. I mean, sometimes it's hard to interpret these official Lego instructions, let alone some that were difficult. Let's see. Like right now it's just gray. Eventually what I want to do is I want to do what others have done, which is get the Sarlacc pit and create the diorama with that and the sail barge. I'll get around to that eventually. Yeah. Yeah, so I already kind of noticed that difference a little bit. I built the Executor, which is released in 2012, and it was real difficult to tell which was black, light gray, or dark gray because the color scheme was a little off. So I have not snuck a look at the other instruction manuals, but I do imagine it's going to get a little bit more interesting. You guys get any sets for Christmas? So before, when my wife was asking me what I wanted for Christmas, I told her, do not get me any Lego sets. I told her, I need a new camera, I need new lights, I need Well, actually, that was pretty much all I needed at the time. So I told her, please get me this stuff. So I didn't send her over a wish list or anything like that. But I did give a wish list to my brother-in-law, who then passed it on to my wife, which is how I got the Dark Falcon and the Brad Durr set. Well, that's pretty cool. You will look forward and, well, rather, you will enjoy putting it together. I will guarantee it. I think that there's only one decal in the whole entire set, which means it's a real winner for me. Shoot. How many UCS sets do you have, Todd? Okay, that's a pretty good collection. And a lot of them are unbuilt so far. Scobo cases, okay. I'll have to remember that. Right now I have 2 shelves I got from Ace Hardware. I've got a Broer, which is that one behind me, which is from IKEA, and then I have a Billy, and I have a Pax, and I have the Billy's filling up pretty good. The Pax isn't very full yet, but the ones I got from Ace Hardware are starting to fill up pretty good with the larger sets. I plan on putting the Death Stars in the top of the packs, because it seems to be a fair amount of room up there. But I'll have to look at the Scobo cases you're speaking of. I assume that they're behind glass doors with the Scobo cases. Very nice.
Three, two, one.
Okay. I haven't heard them before, but they sound right up my alley. Even though I'm building these out, I still consider them to be an investment that I want to, keep and also admire. I've only posted one thing on it. It's Mech Builds Bricks. I do intend to add some more stuff to it at some point this weekend. So Todd, I've got a slight suggestion about the set for when you do assemble it. And that is making sure that all these wing pieces are really secure, because before step 230, well, step 229 is when you have the last chance to have a really flat, good surface, because we already added detailing, and with 230 we add these pieces that are going to connect into the greebling on the side. And so if it's not secure by then, you'll have a not so fun time trying to get it secure. Yeah, no problem. It's what I had to deal with the other underwing. Been a pretty solid build so far, though. We're almost done with step 5. Okay. I'm not really sure what purpose these blocks are serving, besides detail of some sort. I think it's interesting that they are all going in at an angle. One more. Okay. I have pieces left over and it wants me to snap stuff in, and I was just a little worried that I missed a step, but I guess there's some work to do after I get this snapped in. So let me go ahead and get over here. I have to be very careful, of course. Ta-da! do here. Everything's getting just a little bit crowded. Oh, this is pretty neat. This is a little anchor mechanism. Gonna have to shift. This. You guys see? I guess you guys can't really see it very much because it's being hidden a little bit by this, but there's two little I guess ball joints that are getting secured together to make sure that the wings stay on. Let's see if I can tilt it up. Nope, just so big. Yeah, right there. So yeah, I think this is pretty neat here. So there's the two little ball joints that are held together by that. So everything is all nice and secure, not loose really at all. Cool, cool, cool. All right, I don't think I'm building on it, so I'm going to go ahead and put it away again. All right, step 6. Let's see how long this goes. Oh, not too far. I think I could do it tonight. Yeah, it is. It's not as long as the Venator, but it certainly is a lot wider. I'll actually be a little sad when it's completed, but I will be looking forward to doing the first gen Star Destroyer, which is actually up there on the top shelf that you can't see. I think that one's not going to be quite as detailed as this one, judging by the fact that it has like 2,000 less pieces. So yeah, if anyone has any questions or they want to see a box set I have, just let me know. I'll have no problems going and fetching something if someone wants to see something. Or if anyone has any other questions of any sort. Part of me didn't actually want to get the Death Stars, so I can, like, I'm not sure if you don't have them because they're play sets or because they're not ships. I know for myself, I almost didn't get them because they're not ships, and I think calling them UCS sets might not be, for all intents and purposes, proper. Because now, I mean, with the Cantina set, that's not considered a that's not considered a UCS set. That's a Master Builder set. So to me, the Death Stars, Ewok Village, Assault on Hoth, those are more like NBS sets. Yeah, I am also way more into ships. The Death Stars were some of the last sets I got, and I picked up the Death Stars because at that point I had almost all the UCS sets, so I figured I might as well round out the collection. I think they will be fun to build. I hope they are fun to build. I think one of the interesting aspects of them that I hope I enjoy is the fact that it's three-dimensional. So yes, these are three-dimensional in a sense, in the fact that you know, they have depth and width and height, but you're really building upon, you know, a flat surface that then gets affixed to a skeleton. That's what gives it its dimensions. But with the Death Star, I mean, you actually build out and then you make it taller in a sphere. So that would be pretty cool. And Yoda and the Darth Maul bust are kind of in the same sense, to where you're building up. So I'll also be looking forward to those sets too. Way down the line. And the reason why I'm kind of building backwards is not only because I started with the newer sets, it just made sense to go from there, but I'm hoping that more people, as time goes on, will join these streams so they can see the unboxing of these old sets, because I don't think it's very common to see the older sets unboxed, especially not nowadays. So I think it'll be a neat experience for everyone to enjoy together. These black pieces are buried down here somewhere. So yeah, in regards to the streams and such, if you like what you guys are seeing, give a like and subscribe, and that way you can stay updated on when I am expected to do my streams. I post a lot on the community tab of the channel to, you know, post up improvements I'm making and when I am going to stream, and I try really hard to keep to that schedule just to keep things flowing. So I am building out mostly Star Wars stuff right now. I am going to start on Bear Door probably on Saturday, I think. So I'm not going to like do a stream for that because I kind of want to keep the streams for Star Wars sets right now. But I will post the build video of that at some point once it gets completed. And because it was a gift from the wife, I don't feel right in waiting to build it later on. She does check my videos every once in a while, and she has asked me when I'm going to build that out, so I don't want to delay too much longer. So that's going to have some interesting logistical problems because I'll have to move one set off, bring the other set back on. So I for sure stream Mondays and Wednesdays. Normally I would be streaming this Friday, but I got talked into plans for tomorrow. Saturday, I also try to stream too. It just depends on what's going on. And after football season's over, I'll be streaming more on Sundays. But I still, I'm a lifelong Bears fan, so I've usually watched the game, as painful as it has been this past year, and then usually get on at some point after that. But I'll spend more time streaming on Sundays once football's over. I'm trying to find this one little piece. And you guys might have to shed some light on this because I haven't really been able to determine what the correct answer is. How long of a stream is too long of a stream? Like generally, I do about 3 hours from 6 to 9ish, but on the weekends I could probably go a lot longer than that, and I'm just not sure if some people might experience stream fatigue by tuning in and seeing that someone has been doing this for hours and they might be doing it for hours more. I haven't quite figured that out yet. There it is. I also I will be going on my first vacation in a while next week, so I'll be gone for a week then. It's very tempting to build something when I'm on the cruise, but I'm pretty sure that the wife will not like that very much, so I think I'll just leave all the Legos at home. Bigger one of these. Same size. That's pretty cool. So I'm guessing I will build the other side of that next. So, Todd, about how long do you think it'll be until you build out the Imperial Star Destroyer? Are you waiting for a particular reason? One thing I forgot to check. Yeah, I think this set's too old where you can't scan the QR code for insider points. I keep forgetting to check those. Need those insider points. So far as time-wise goes, steps 1 and 2 I got done in just shy of 3 hours. But step 3 took me about 3 hours just for that one step. Not because, I mean, I had a lot of pieces, but that wasn't the only reason. Because the build is so dependent upon correct piece placement. If you make a mistake, you have to rip everything back off and start all over again. So I went a little slower putting the greebling on the side wings together. But other than that, everything has been moving along at a pretty good clip. I should have separated out these pieces here a little better before going forward, because this is driving me crazy. I'll need that one eventually. The technic part of it wasn't too bad. Now let's see where this goes. Goes underneath. So even though I made this super tight, it's still apart here. Really? 2 weeks? That's pretty fast. It took me and my wife longer than 2 weeks because she is a doctor, and whenever she went on call, which was every other week, she didn't want to build it, understandably so, because she just wasn't sure when she would get called in, and she just wanted to sit there and enjoy it. So it took us a little while to get through it because of that, but it was a very fulfilling build in the fact that we're building, in a sense, a model of a very historic ship that my wife absolutely loves and has loved all of her entire life. And I liked how it had a lot of moving pieces, like the turbines moved. Turbines moved all the way into the actual propellers, which was amazing. And it was a super huge build. It was, I think, a great way of being introduced into Lego, but also like being thrown into the fire. And sorry, I know I'm redoing some of the stuff that I've done earlier, but this is truly annoying. It really only seems to be this side. The other side, oh, look at that. The other side, everything was nice and snug. I think I'm gonna have to take this back off. I didn't really adjust anything, I just looked and I'm gonna just take this off and see, look at that. Look how much it's already falling apart. It's crazy. So I made sure that this was nice and snug before I put this on there, but I'm gonna have to take off these pieces here to make sure it is snug once again. Should take just a couple minutes. Never had anything fall apart like that on me. That's tight. Yeah, so did I. But not as bad as this wing did. And this is the one I was talking about that I felt like it might be a little loose before. This is incredible. Before I stuck it on there, but I didn't realize it was that loose. So I learned from my mistake when building the other side, so I don't have to worry about that one. This is already a lot more solid. That. Okay. Now we are back in business. Small detour. that's just how easy it falls apart. We're almost all fixed up. All right. We are solid as a rock again. Everything is snug as a bug. So I thought, yep, we're all good. Now I can put this in underneath. Of course, I need to get to the directions now. This is a very unwieldy starship. Oh, okay. A little bit. There we go. All right. It goes. I guess you guys really can't see it too well, but there's a nice little Technic spot on the bottom. This goes right into. And we're done. All right. Sorry that took so long. Moving right along. So yeah, when you are building that ship, make sure that the wing is absolutely secure before you start putting on the pieces underneath that are meant to clip in, because if it's not secure by that point, it won't ever be, as we just found out. Are you taking notes, Todd, for when it comes time for you to build yours? This is a pretty nifty piece. Wonder what this is. Like, where does this go? Okay, it's more of the bottom. Thanks a lot, guys, for staying so long. I really appreciate you guys being around. That should do it for that. Hey, thanks, Solzem. I appreciate you. Although I'm in a little bit of a hurry up mode because I don't want to be up much past 9:30 Central. Work comes very early at 6 a.m. And what do you all do for a living? I'm a software engineer. I work for an insurance company out of New York. So I actually work remote, which is a blessing down here where I live because there's just not a lot of technical jobs down here in very, very south central Missouri. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. I lived in, yeah, same here. I mean, any of those trade skills are pretty amazing. I lived in Fort Worth for 4 years while my wife went to medical school and I went to college for software engineering. Way too hot in Texas. I don't know how you all handle it year after year. I never really made it farther than San Antonio in Texas, though. Never made it down to Houston. But I heard it's a nice place to live, although a little hot. Traffic is a little bad. But I mean, really, traffic is bad everywhere in Texas, in my experience. Probably the greatest thing I miss about Texas was the food. See, I'm the other way around. I grew up in Northern Illinois and Northern Ohio, so I got pretty used to the cold. Now that being said, the 4 years I lived in Fort Worth, I think we got snow 3 out of 4 years, and my last winter there, we got a really bad ice storm that caused classes to get canceled. That would have been in 2013. I don't know if you remember hearing about that in the news, where it developed. I think it's like I can't remember the term that they called it, but the ice on the freeway was basically like cobblestone, and it was really thick and pitted, and they wouldn't let anyone really drive on it, so they shut down the freeway. That would be I think like portions of 35 is what they shut down. They had that too. I think they called it cobblestone ice because of just how when you drove on it, it really resembled how cobblestone roads. I feel like they made a mistake in the instructions here. This is built right. I'll come back to it. So yeah, basically what I'm referring to is, see, these aren't extending out. But it's kind of heavy. It might be hard to see. But you see here in the instructions, I know I'm using the 2x1 flats. Maybe I just have to push it over some, actually, now that I look at it. Which is pretty weird technique. Okay, we're good. Much better. Another good thing that I remember about Texas is that the housing market was insanely good. Like you could buy a fairly large house for cheaper than you can here in southern Missouri. I don't know if it's still like that, but that's something that my wife still brings up to this day. How she wonders about moving to Texas because it's just so much cheaper for housing. I also tell her that if she ever thinks about moving to Texas, she'll probably have to go without me because I think that heat would just kill me. Yeah. Not only are there no Star Wars basements, but there's no dodging tornado basements either. The thing I also hated was it seemed like it would be at night when the tornado sirens would go off. And that's just terrifying. Todd, do you really get that many tornadoes down there in Houston? I'm not sure, since you guys are so much more closer to the coast, whether they actually did happen down there. Not. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I seem to be missing a piece. Make sure it didn't. Drop it. Snap. Have you ever run into that, Todd, where you've got missing pieces? Yeah, there's a. This is one of the. These are bag 6. That's all. These are all empty. Another bag 6. That's also all empty. This is actually the second time this has happened to me on stream. And the other time I was able to I have a midi skill Tantine 4 that I haven't built out yet. And I was able to get into that for some parts, but this one just not there. Still waiting on a piece for the Razor Crest to come in. And Java Sail Barge, I'm also missing a piece from that too. That still is not coming yet, but I guess I will. I'll seed here and stick that on later. But it's this piece I'm missing here. Yeah, I've had that happen before, but not this time. It is not there. So I'll probably build this piece out, and then I'm going to the our local kind of like hobby store, I guess, where they have bulk Legos and bins, and see maybe if they have that piece I can buy from them and finish it out tomorrow. So yeah, Razor Crest, I was missing a piece. The Millennium Falcon, I was missing one of the pieces that already had like the painted on display. There's just a small black like 1x2 ramp, I guess is what it was. The Venator, I was missing one of the pieces that make up the top of the wing. So, and I have thought I was missing pieces, and I check the bag, and then I find the pieces. But there are instances like this one where I check the bag, and there is for sure no piece. I was hoping it wouldn't happen with some of these older sets, but alas. So hopefully by the time I get back on, maybe sometime Saturday, I will have everything that I need for it. Oh, thanks. Thankfully, it's a piece I don't have to wait to build on. I can just come back to it later. Have you guys ever heard of the show that's, I guess it's on MGM Plus, called From? Yeah, it's cosmetic. Right now, these two pieces are just resting in here. It's pretty good. It's pretty scary. So every once in a while when I hear something, I'm like, is it them? It is a pretty good scary show. I would check it out. In reality, what it is, it's one of my cats is smart enough to know how a doorknob works, and they will bat at the doorknob trying to get it open. Almost done here. Oh. Looks like the side camera is having issues. I'm not even gonna look at it right now. And that is the camera that is getting replaced with a real camera this weekend. One that is not an iPhone that tends to have these issues. All right. So what I'm building here is, it kind of looks like it's an airlock of some sort. See these two pieces here, they're not actually fixed to anything. So I believe that what I'm building right now is something to keep them in place so they don't move around like outside. But I think these are supposed to be something like airlock doors of some sort. It's pretty neat. I love the detail of this stuff. Yeah, or yeah, docking bay is better than airlock actually. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think I'm building actually a mini TIE fighter now for the docking bay. Yeah, I will be too, because it will be like the same color scheme here. The side camera is using a different software, so the color scheme is not the same. And here we have a mini TIE fighter. And this is actually supposed to clip into the part that I'm missing, so I can't do anything about that. I'll go ahead and just put this over here for now. And of course, when I get done with the stream, I will scour for that piece a lot more. I just don't want to pause building long enough to do a more thorough check for it. And this, of course, would... This is supposed to go on the piece I'm supposed to have placed already. Well, it's supposed to go in front, but I'm going to wait to put this on too. And that's a wrap. So I'm all done with step 6. After this is over, I'll go ahead and search around, probably get a broom and just kind of sweep around down here to see if that piece might be down here. And if so, you know, I'll update everyone, probably on the community portion of the channel. And I don't know when I'll be on Saturday. The same friend that wants me to go to Magic the Gathering tournament tomorrow is the same one that kind of wants me to go on Saturday. Hoping that because I'm going on Friday, I'll have to avoid going on Saturday. If I don't have to go on Saturday, then I'll probably be on fairly early. I'd say 10 or 11, and I usually stream for about 5 or 6 hours on Saturday. And I haven't really determined if that's too long or not, but I'll go until people start. I'll go until people stop watching. So thanks again, guys, for watching and subscribing. I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next stream. Does anyone have any questions or anything like that before I go? Yeah, I hope I find it too, Todd. I really do. Well, thanks again, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Have a good night.